Did you ever have one of those days where you went to go do something that was only going to take you a couple of seconds, and then 4 hours later you were finally done with it? That's what happened to me. It's literally 4 hours after I recorded the last episode. We've gone forward 2 games. Today we're playing Madrid in the Copa del Rey. It's the end of the transfer window. We'll have a roundup of that, and then what I thought I might do is take a look at some of the players of Jaen, past and present, and see how they're doing in their new homes. We'll see how it works out. My name's FM20. It's time to get real. So we've had the one game against Cadiz. It was a pretty good game. Martin Matasevic a brace of goals, and Doni Alonso a goal in the 75th minute. Not a lot of yellow cards. We had 12 shots, 6 on target to their 9 and 3. The defense was really solid. Fernandez had a really good game. Alonso had an absolutely fabulous game. 12 key passes. Ended up on a 9-2, and the goal was just icing on the cake. Today, it is Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey 5th round, but first, transfer window's almost over. We're not participating. We've done what we've needed to do. We haven't made any moves except to sign this guy, who was made available by Real Betis. Israel. Plays striker, but I'm going to retrain him as a winger on the right. Really fast, real pacey, good natural fitness. Can run for days. 19 years old, 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. The aggression is a little bit on the low side, but technically he's really good. 14 crossing, 15 dribbling, 15 first touch, 11 passing, 12 technique. Mentally, his off the ball is nice. His determination is okay. Everything else is a little bit, well, it's adequate. He was too good to pass up. 2.8 million euros? I mean, even if he only ends up being a backup to Lemaitre or whoever else I have on the right, and frankly, I needed someone else on the right with, the guy whose name I've been mispronouncing this whole time. That really doesn't narrow it down for you, to take his place. So the nice thing is he is Spanish. He's under 19, so he doesn't have to be registered. I don't know why Betis was moving on from him. He had a couple okay seasons for him on their second league team. 19 starts, 7 goals, 3 assists, 3 players of the match. Either they're really stocked at that position or they just gave up on him, which doesn't make a lot of sense because I'm clicking all over the freaking place here. Because he's only 19 years old. It's a bit early to be giving up on somebody. He's here on a nice contract for us. Runs with the ball down. This is the other reason I'm going to be trained to be a right winger. He runs with the ball often. He runs with the ball down the right. So he's going to run forward. He's going to outpace everybody. His dribbling is already good enough that they're going to have a hard time keeping up with him. His crossing's already good enough that he's going to be able to cross it in no problem. And he's a backup at at striker as well in case I need one. But I don't think I will. What I do need to do is switch this to this, to this, to this. So, that's our one good pickup. And we made the biggest transfer in the January window, at least, currently, with Campos going to Arsenal for $32 million. So we bought $19.75 million. We've sold $120 million. And a lot of that was Helio. So we will take a look at that here in a little bit. But first, it's Real Madrid and the Copa del Rey 5th round. So I'm going to check my best 11, set the reserves. I'm going to be back with that match in just a bit. Oh, they're not playing. Oh, good grief. Militao, Demiral, Duarte, Courtois, Aouar, Camavinga. For Sharon, Vargas, he's new. Pretty freaking good. He's their backup. Where's he from? Bolivia. 9 appearances, 12 off the bench, 11 goals, 2 assists. Got our work cut out for us. Okay, well, we are playing our 4-2-4. Of course, Seferovic in goal. Mahmoud, Barnabashvili, Joubert, and Dale Boer as the defensive back four. Vojnovic and Alonso as the midfielders. Mathis and Smokovic as the attacking midfielders. Matasevic and Maria up top as the strikers. Just want a credible result, i.e. not getting blown out by 6 goals a lot like the last time we played them. 15 minutes in the game, first highlight, Barnabashvili up to Alonso, back to Barnabashvili, to Alonso, out to Mahmoud, to Barnabashvili, up to Mathis. Gets by one, gets by another, long pass, totally screws it up, sends it right to Carrera, over to Camavinga, Vargas for Sharon, feeds Carrera, he rounds the keeper, puts it far post. Of course he does. Of course he does. Except it was disallowed because he was offsides. Nice. It's great when it goes in your favor. I can't complain about that. Except when it doesn't go in my favor. Ball's knocked away. Mathis sends it forward. It's 2-on-1. Maria. Is he going to use the help? No. He's going to put it far post. And he was definitely onside. It's his 15th goal of the season. This was well done. Okay, this is interesting. In the 3D, the ball is pink, but in the 2D, it's orange. Not that I'm really complaining about that, because the ball went into their net, but still, it's just something I caught. Sharon sends it in, and it is pushed wide right. Sharon sends it in again, and it is knocked away by Barnabashvili. And someone was fouled. Sharon, and he went right. Seferovic went to his right. Yikes. Okay, come on, boys. Oh, sure got caught in a tile on the floor. Fun times. For Sharon. Sends it in again. Mathis knocks it away. Up to Smokovic. Drives forward. Cuts inside. Across the box. Dispossessed. Carrera. Back to Ricardo. He gives it away, though. Goes right to Joubert. Out to Smokovic. Heads it over to Maria. Back to Alonso. Smokovic can't control it. Goes to Carrera. Knocked away. Vargas ends up with the ball. He feeds for Sharon, who got between the defenders. And his kick bounces off a Jaen player. Mahmoud sends it forward. Matasevic heads it down. Over to Mathis. Back to Matasevic, who's fouled. Barnabashvili. Taps up to Vojnovic. Long pass towards Smokovic. Maria. Oh, the number 4 player from Madrid got in his way and completely forced him to kick the ball really wide right. That or Maria kicked it off of him. De La Bavora sends it in. Knocked away. Aouar has it. And he is dispossessed by Mathis. Just before the half. Can we go into the game? Can we go to the half tied, I should say. Maria gets the ball, blows by the one defender. Cuts by the other, has help. Instead, he's going to try an awful shot at a horrible angle. And now Verscharen's driving forward, and Joubert fouls him. It's Are you freaking kidding me? Seferovic stops it. Camavinga comes up. And oh, Jesus H. Holy freaking cow. That was annoying as hell. Matasevic's going to come off. Fabian's going to come on. We're going to get Smokovic off and bring on Israel. I'm going to take a risk and leave Mahmoud on. No highlights this second half so far. They're just moving players all around. Here we go. Demiral. Back to Courtois. Out to Duarte. He feeds it to Verscharen. Out to Vargas on the right. Centers it to Andre. To Pogba. Over to Carrera. And who's my number 3? De La Bavora got in his way and forced a poor shot that Seferovic had no problem stopping. 8 minutes left in the game. We're not going to do it. Come on, guys. Verscharen. And Seferovic, a very nice save. 5 minutes left. Somebody was fouled. I have no idea what the hell that highlight was. Nuts. Well, a pretty horrible mistake. I don't know. I don't know that you could blame Seferovic for that, because he dove, The ball hit the post. He stood up again, and Camavinga just ran in unopposed and blasted it in the back of the net. They had 23 shots, 13 on target. We had 10 and 9. That just really bites. Praise Maria. Then I'm going to get to the end of the transfer window, make sure there's nothing else weird going on, and we're going to come back, do a player review. So back with that in just a bit. This tweet here, and I don't know that you can... Oh, there we go. Typical Real Jaen, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Absolutely fuming. I can't say that I blame Janina Tavane. Now, I thought what I would do is we're back in the 2019-2020 transfer window, and there's only a couple of players still playing, and I don't remember them off the top of my head, so we're not going to look at them. I thought what I would do is just go through and look at who is still playing and who isn't. So, like, for example, Paul Ballesteros is not playing, but Jorge Carrion is. Nefsi Baku in Azerbaijan. Okay. Solid career there. And then Mohamed Mizian is still playing for Las Rosas. He's out of contract. Couple okay seasons. 14 and 36 isn't bad. Come on. For some reason, the game is running really slow, and I don't know why. Alvaro Sanz is still at Livorno. Oh no, he went to Ascoli. And then Ascoli, Tenerife paid 1.5 million euros for him. They loaned him out to Ascoli. Ascoli had a clause where they'd pay 950,000 for him, and then they let him go on a free. He never really, I think he met his expectations here, and he was just never going to get better. And I think the teams that bought him expecting him to get better, and he just never did. Jacques Rochi, who was great in my Bastia save, and just never really panned out here. It's still at Andorra. Had a good season, 2027-28. 40 starts, 5 goals, 5 assists. So there's more than a few Andorra saves going on YouTube. Some of them were quite good. Alex Robles, where did he end up? He is a free agent. He's been a free agent for a long time. You know what? We'll look at a couple of these guys here. Clemente. Yeah, he's still at Sheffield United. He's a bench player, but Osasuna bought him, and then he went to Sheffield United. Pedro Ruiz is Lugo. Went to Valladolid, and then went to Lugo on a free. He didn't do well at Valladolid. But he was great for us when we needed him to be great. Javi Puado is still in Mexico. He's had an okay career. Let's see. Jaime Hardy at Tenerife. Solid, if unspectacular. He had a good season last year. 6 goals, 7 assists, 3 players of the match, and 39 starts. Valentin Raboui. Celta Vigo. God, this guy. I want to go to Nantes. He played all of 5 games there. 4 games there. He'd still be starting for us if he was still here. He wanted the big money. He went to Alaves. He had 2 good seasons there. Then he sat on the bench for 2 seasons. That's what happens when you move for the money. Alex Robles. Oh, we looked at him. Joel Powell, Estepona, which I want to say is in Italy. Nope, Spain. Group 4. Not too bad. Never panned out, never met his potential. And that's partly my fault. Oculus, the yellow card machine that was Alexander Oculus, is now at Leicester. But they're on a free. Loaned. Went to Leicester on a free. He's got 3 starts. Lord knows how many yellow cards. But okay, good on him. How did he turn? Now, let's see. He is 24 years old now. Physically, he did really well. Mentally, he's not bad. I just don't understand how that 8 aggression... It's got to be some sort of weird combination of the 8 aggression and 15 bravery with something else that just... I mean, he was just... I mean, heck, this is his season now. He's got 6 yellow cards in 10 games. That's just insane. Lucina Traore, the first real big name signing we had. He went to Leicester for the money. $25 million. Didn't start. Got loaned out to Empoli. Didn't start. Now he is on loan at Nice, and he's not really starting there either. Holy cow, this guy was fabulous for us. And then Igor Girkin from Red Star. We lost money on him. He turned out about as... He turned out what I thought he would be. He's a very good ball-winning midfielder. And, you know, physically, he's solid. Technically, he's solid. Mentally, he's good. I like the 18 aggression, the 17 bravery. 16 work rate is nice. Everything else is solid. I mean, his 8 off the ball is a little bit on the low side for me, but that's just me quibbling. And for whatever reason, he just did not put it together here. And he hasn't really done it at Espanyol either. Lost a little bit of money on him. Let's see who else. Julian Rusev. He was probably the first big guy that we had leave. He went to Brighton for $6 million. And then Genoa turned around and bought him for $4. Solid defensive right back. Just, I don't know. There's always, you know, you're always searching for somebody just a little bit better. Bakary Yata. This was kind of annoying. He came in for $525,000. Turned around and went to Zenit for 2.7. And all they've done is loan him out. He had a really good loan spell at Colo-Colo. And that's been pretty much it. He's also getting up there in age, which probably has a lot to do with it. Let me click on him again here real quick. He's 30 years old now. Physically, he's a solid winger. Mentally, he's a solid winger. Technically, not so much. Any other names that stand out? Marcevic's still here. Salinas was part of the... He was the other Peruvian I brought on. He came in the same time as Campos. And ended up going to Peru, back to Peru for $275,000. And then they turned around and sold him to Genoa. Solid winger, just never really met his promise here. Oh, I want to check one more real quick. Marcus McGuane. Chievo Verona, back in Italy. Oh, he never left Italy. He went to Chievo for $875. So, that's not bad. He got one game for them when they were back up in Serie A. Because they turned around and loaned him to Lecce. Wow, that doesn't... We think you're a good player, but we don't think you're good enough to play at Serie A level. I mean, look at that. You can play anywhere on the field. I suspect you throw him in goal, he'd do a job for you, too. This was the first year we really started spending money. I spent a ton of money on Mahmoud, who I think has proven he's been well worth it. Eric Majashak was a great find for us. He's gone down in ability, but still a solid midfielder. Was the team captain. Bought him for 4.5. Turned around, sold him 5 years later for 21.5. Not a goal scorer. Had okay assists, but it was his passing ability. He was our penalty kick taker too. It was his passing ability and his defensive work that just really stood out. He was a solid guy, but Mainz came in and made him an offer and he wanted to go. And I was like, oh, okay. And then Rabbit Matondo, who looked like Tarzan, played like Jaen, had a really good preseason for us, and then just so many injuries. Went to Valladolid, and he started 28 games there. And 21, and 13, and 28. I wonder, there's a way you can go to the player. I could have sworn there was a way to pull up his injury report. And it's possible it may be an issue with the skin. Check something out here real quick. Oh, there it is. Injuries. Sprained knee ligaments, sprained ankle ligaments, bruised thigh, bruised ankle, groin strain, pulled hamstring. And he's not injury prone. That's just annoying as heck. Campos just left. Thomas Netolica came in, turned around, left. He was a decent keeper for us, but he's just somebody a little bit better. Went to Granada, he's bounced around, he's never really stuck around. I don't know why. He was one of those, if you played him a lot, he'd be a solid keeper. We played him a lot, and he was turning into a solid keeper. He just, there was other players who were better than him, and that's who I brought in. Anyone else on here who has moved on? Tremoni went to Reims, and now he is at Elche. Oh, he came from Reims, and we sold him to Elche. And he's been okay. Yeah, this was the season that we got everybody for really cheap. And then we turned around and sold them. And we had to sell a bunch of them too. So like Singshire came in on a free from Manchester City, solid midfielder. One of those guys who was good. There was always somebody just a little bit better. I suspect if I'd gotten him a little bit younger, he could have fully developed. As it is, he's still a solid central midfielder. He just wasn't going to get any playing time here. So, we turned around and sold him to Malaga for a guy we got on a free. You can't complain about that. Smokovic is still here. Van Berkel left. This was good grief. This guy. Solid keeper. But, man, he absolutely pitched a fit when Helio left. And was starting to drag the locker room down. And it was like, I am not having that. Mathis is here. Kuduzic we brought on to be Sirac's friend. And then finally Sirac got his head straight. So he went back to Bosnia. Ivan Mesic. Decent defender. I'm afflicted by this. Hey, I have a 3-star central defender who's pretty good. Oh, hey, look, here's a 4-star central defender who's pretty good. Let's get that 4-star central defender. Jurgen Serra. I don't believe he's with the team anymore. Nope. We turned around and sold him. Actually, I believe we sold him this year. Well, yeah, we lost money on him. But yeah, that's the risk you take. He was part of that youth movement where we went out and found youth players with promise who didn't quite fill it out. On the other hand, Roberto Fernandez has absolutely filled out his promise. He's 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. He's still 19 years old. He's getting better. He's probably going to be the best 5,750 euros I spent this save. Ronnie Harold has turned it on. Marco Ibe, we bought from Luzerne, but he hasn't really turned out. He's not going to get any better. We got him transfer listed, but nobody came asking for him. Helio. This hurts. He chased the big money. He went to Schalke. 15 appearances, 6 goals, 5 assists. Schalke's got a really good squad. Zagovic is a really good midfielder. I mean, you know, look at those physicals. And then he's up top with Tobias. I mean, look at that. Look at those physicals. I didn't get the money I wanted for him, but at the same time, it was really bringing down the locker room. So for a guy I brought in for 5 and turned around and sold for 49, it's not a bad deal. It's certainly not a great deal. I could have held out for more money, I bet, but I don't know. This was the year we also let go of a lot of players. Rusev went out. Rusev went out for $6 million. Was he my first big sale? Let me go back a season real quick. Worrell left for 4.4. Came in on a free, left for 4.4. Yeah, it must have been Joe Worrell. Joe Worrell was my first big transfer move for decent money. And he came in on a free. He was out of contract. I brought him in on trial and saw how good he was and said, hey, let's sign a contract. And he's like, I want to be an important player and I want 30,000 euros a week and yada yada this and yada yada that. And it was like, dude, no. And I let him go from the trial. I let him go early. And 2 months later, the season was getting ready to start. I was still looking for depth. And lo and behold, he was still out there. And I was like, hey, you want to come in and be a squad player for a third of what you wanted? Yeah, sure. Brought him in on a free, sold him for 4.4. So that kind of makes up for some of the youth players we didn't hit on. And I think as long as that's happening, if you're breaking even or coming out a little bit ahead on your transfer moves, you're doing well. Of course, that doesn't take into account like all the salary and stuff like that you're paying them. Like if you buy a player for $1 million and you sell him for $1 million, you're losing money because you're not taking into account the salary and things like that. But a lot of people don't look at it like that. I certainly tend not to. So this here, let me see here real quick. Yeah, then Rusev went for 6. And that was the year Matondo and Yada left. And then the next year, 26-27, that's when we sold a bunch of players. That's when Traore went out for 22. And he was most of it. And then Alvaro Nunez went to Arsenal. My right wing back. Who's done absolutely nothing at Arsenal and is on loan at West Brom. Brought him in for 400,000, moved him for 19.75 million. You can't beat that with a stick. And then this was this season. No, this was last season. Maria's never going to be Helio. I think very few players will be Helio, but he's having a decent season so far, so I can't complain about that. So we're going to wrap this up here. That's, good grief, that's almost 15 minutes worth of looking at players in the past. And I didn't even look at the other leagues and stuff like that. I need to do that probably this summer because it's the 10th year of the save. So what I'll probably do is just have an episode where we'll go look at the various leagues and various players and stuff like that and see where they are. I mean, the two biggest surprises to me are, and I'm going to pull this up here just because I think it's funny. Jamie Vardy. I'm totally spelling Jamie wrong because I-M-E. Oh, good grief. V-A-R-D-Y. Jamie Vardy, well, he's now unemployed. He got let go of his... he was fired. He was knocked out by Manchester City in the Carabao and was fired not too long after. He was fired 2 months ago. And they went and they hired Alan Johnston. And the thing is, He's not a bad head coach. When you're looking at your head coaching attributes that you want, he's good at management. He's good at motivating. He's got good determination. His adaptability is a little bit on the low side, but he's a very good technical coach, a very good mental coach, a very good attacking coach. His judging player ability, potential, and tactical knowledge is good. He's a solid coach. He's a solid head coach. He just hasn't had a lot of luck with the teams he's been on. I mean, he started out at Leicester. He transferred to Zaragoza as a player. I remember playing him in a couple of games. And then he was an interim head coach for Zaragoza. Went to Cardiff, was there for 2 years. Went to West Brom, was there for a year. Left West Brom to go to Leicester because, Leicester calls. That's your team. Why wouldn't you go to Leicester? And he couldn't get it done there. But this is the one that totally boggles my mind. Mario Balotelli is a head coach. And he's gotten jobs in the Hungarian League and the Hungarian League. He'd be an okay coach for like a B squad. The 17 level of discipline completely cracks me up because I remember him as a player. And it was like, his teamwork was 3 and something else was a 4. And it was just one of those instances where this doesn't translate to what I know of the player, but I admit I'm biased because I don't know him all that well just by reputation, and it's not the best reputation, but still. He left as the head coach to take over. Okay, he left as a head coach of this club, which is in the second Hungarian league, to take over this club, which is in the first Hungarian league. And he was fired in October. He didn't even get a full year there. So why was he fired? Where are they at now? They're 10th. That's why he was fired. Because they finished top 4 the previous year. They'd qualified for Europa League. Okay, so we're going to wrap that up here. Next, for us, Europa League games. Krasnodar, home and away. I like our chances. But then again, I tend to be positive in situations like this, unless it's completely unwarranted. Then I'm super positive. So, but more often than not, I'm super positive we're going to get beat. But this time, Krasnodar, well, I think we can do this. The team after Krasnodar, who knows? But we'll find out. If you like what you've seen or heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, questions, criticisms, comments, leave those down below. I will answer those as fast as I can. I'm FM20.